Welcome to Openlands Lakeshore Preserve. Good afternoon, everybody. I am coming to you this afternoon from the city of Highwood, Illinois. It is at this location that we're going to check out the trails here at Openlands Lakeshore Preserve. Openland Lakeshore Preserves is a Lake County Forest Preserve, one of the more recent ones. It looks like they have 3 separate trails here. There's one down here. I'm not exactly sure how these connect, but we'll just figure it out as we go. I've never been to this forest preserve before, so I'm super excited to check out what we got here. Openlands Lakeshore Preserve is just south of Fort Sheridan Forest Preserve and also connects to the Robert McClory bike path. So if you're on the Robert McClory bike path, you could come in here, get a few miles in, and then make your way to Fort Sheridan Forest Preserve and get a few more miles in, and then get back on the Robert McClory bike path if you so desired. There is a parking lot for Openlands Lakeshore Preserve, which is over here. They do have a couple porta potties and garbage cans. I don't really see anything else. So let's take a look at this on AllTrails. So here is the parking lot, and we're right at the mouth of a trail. Directly across from the parking lot is this trail here. So we're going to ride up this trail, see what this is, and then take it towards the south here until we can't go any further. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to connect from here to here, these trail segments. It shows, AllTrails shows that there's little trails in through here, but I'm not exactly sure how that's laid out. We'll figure it out when we get there. At the very least, I could take this trail to the end, hop on this street here, pick up the Robert McClory bike path, which is right here, and then go up this trail and back down to check it out. AllTrails says the total ride is 3.9 miles. So that's with backtracking, but does not include however I figure out how to get to this disconnected segment here. So I'm super excited to check it out. Let's check out Openlands Lakeshore Preserve. Well, there's a sign you definitely don't see at every Lake County Forest Preserve. Openlands Lakeshore Preserve is the first Lake County Forest Preserve that I've been to that has this sort of warning. On the Lake County Forest Preserve's YouTube channel, they do have a safety video for the Openlands Lakeshore Preserve. Before coming here, I encourage you to check out the entirety of their safety video, but here's a couple of clips.
The Army trained troops at Fort Sheridan from the Spanish-American War through World War II. The troop training conducted at Fort Sheridan was an important part of our history that contributed immeasurably to our national defense.
However, it also may have resulted in historic munitions such as grenades, flares, small arms ammunition, and anti-aircraft munitions being unintentionally left behind.
The preserve property has been investigated for potential munitions hazards. It is recommended that visitors stay in designated areas and follow the 3 R's of explosives safety.
The first is recognize. Recognizing when you may have encountered a munition is key to staying safe. Munitions may look like ordinary metal items, such as a piece of pipe, rusty metal, rectangular gallon containers, or even a can of food. If you encounter or suspect you may have encountered a munition, consider it extremely dangerous. Remember, munitions are sometimes hard to identify. The second R is retreat. If you encounter or suspect you may have encountered a munition, do not approach, touch, move, or disturb it, but immediately and carefully leave the area following the same path on which you entered. If you can, mark the general area, not the munition, in some manner. For example, with a hat, piece of cloth, or tying a piece of plastic to a tree branch. The third R is report. When you think you may have encountered a munition, notify your local law enforcement. Call 911.
All of that said, don't let it freak you out. The Openlands Lakeshore Preserve is definitely worth checking out. Well, I pulled over at the overlook here. So it looks like these two trails are connected if you're willing to go downstairs. So you can get to the lower level of the trail. We're gonna just follow the trail that we're on until it gets to the bottom over here. All right, so we stopped at a very cool overlook here. Although if it were up to me, I would trim some of this back. All right, so we made it to the end of this segment of trail. Gonna look at the map here. Now, I did see the trails here. I'm not sure what type of trails these are, but as you could see, as far as I could see, it's fenced off on this side with barbed wire too. So what I think is gonna end up happening is we're just gonna follow this road to the Robert McClory Trail, and then be able to pick up this segment from there and then just ride it to the end and back. Let's check it out. All right, well, as you saw, we were able to make our way here. Definitely wasn't an issue cutting through the subdivision onto the Robert McClory Trail here. And then now we're down here at the very southern end of this segment, which is looks like it's just a half mile, so it should be a 1 mile round trip. They do have a parking lot right over here where you can access, and with garbage cans over this way, and they do have a couple of porta potties, so that's good. You get a really good view of the north from this end. There's an awesome view from this bridge here. Quite a big drop down too. All right, so we made it to the end of this segment here. So it looks like we do have access to the street right here. So instead of coming down all the way, it looks like I could connect to this Johnston Drive right here, and then make my way back to the other segment. But you definitely could go. It's definitely easy to get down this way and onto the Robert McClory bike path for a little bit. All right, so we made it back to that main segment. Definitely easy to get back and forth between the segments. Come across a sundial here. All right, so we finished off this section down here, and now we've done this whole section right here, and we're right back at the main entrance, the parking lot again over here. So it looks like this longer trail, the 3/4 mile trail, is basically split between Patton Road here. So this is where we are on Patton Road here. So we're just going to go down a little on Patton Road and then hop on the 3/4 mile trail. So I thought we're going to cross the trail. The trail's actually below us. So it looks like this is the little connector trail and I could pick it up right over this way. But when I crossed the bridge, I first thought I actually missed the trail. So I turned around and looked down and there it is. Well, I definitely can't go this way with the bike, but I figured since I was passing right by it, I'd stop and show it. And wow, look at that color. So they have a big staircase. They even have a bench over here on it. Make your way all the way down to the trail. Looks like you can get to both ends from down here. Pretty cool. All right, so we've made our way down to this segment of trail here underneath the street. So we just came down this way. There was a segment that was pretty tight to get through on an e-bike, especially with all the bags I carry, but no issues. Heading down this way is headed towards Lake Michigan. We're actually gonna head this way first to see what we got this way and then go all the way back down through here. So I pulled over to see what all this stuff says. It says something different on each side here. Wow, this area is unlike any other Lake County Forest Preserve I've ever been to. Very, very cool. Any idea what this is? All right, so we made it to the western end of the trail here. So all that's left for us to explore is this way here. We're going to go backtrack all the way up to Patton Road and then check out this area trail we haven't checked out yet, and then make our way back to the parking lot. Well, according to AllTrails, this is the end of this segment here. Going down this way on AllTrails, it says no access. All right, so that does it for the trails here at Openlands Lakeshore Preserve. We're back where we started. The parking lot is over this way over here. According to AllTrails, 5.45 miles. Bike says 5.4. These trails aren't very long, but you definitely could do them as part of a larger ride on the Robert McClory bike path. You can also check out the trails up at Fort Sheridan Forest Preserve. This whole area here is worth checking out. I definitely recommend checking this forest preserve out. This forest preserve is sort of in a class of its own because it's very unique, and there's a ride here that you can get here and not in any of the other Lake County forest preserves. So don't let the lack of mileage discourage you. Definitely check this place out. As I mentioned in last week's video at Fort Sheridan Forest Preserve, you can easily get from Openlands Lakeshore Preserve up to Fort Sheridan Forest Preserve. This adds some more trails to the area and is also connected to the Robert McClory bike path. This is how you get from one location to the other. Instead of going the most direct route, I turn around so I could put my drone up by the tower. Let me know what you think of the trails in the comments below. If you are familiar with this area and you know of somewhere I should check out the next time I'm here, definitely let me know. As always, if you enjoy this content, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel grow. If you're interested in supporting this channel and helping us get to more trails, please consider a super thanks. And that's all I got today from Openlands Lakeshore Preserve. I'll catch you on the next ride. Do you have a trail recommendation for me? Let me know in the comments below.